On today's episode of Open Box Policy, we are going to talk about three main things. We're going to talk about big dick energy.
Whoop, whoop.
Big. Thanks, Jamie. one time for all the girls. Whoop, whoop. Big dick energy. We're going to talk about my ill-fitting clothes. And then, well, it's the truth.
I know, but it was right after big
dick energy,
right?
And how they fit illy around my big dick.
That was a big dick, basically.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about a really awkward conversation that concerns someone's father's death, like a death conversation.
Yeah. Just death all around.
This was
and then we
lots of things covered on this episode.
We did.
We want to hear your death stories and how awkward they can be.
Yes.
Reach out to us on socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and what's my other one? YouTube? At OBP_raw, even though you can't really reach out to us on YouTube besides commenting, and nobody ever does.
And I want to hear about your dick stories.
Your big dick stories.
All your big dick stories.
Ladies, if
I want to hear about your death stories, and Jamie wants to hear about your slogging dick stories.
Yeah, and if women think that there's such a thing as big dick energy.
Mainly just your dick stories, though.
Yeah.
Shoot us an email at obppodcast@gmail.com.
Look like I'm wearing a cheap suit. I'm one of those people that clothes never fit me just right. Because of my size and my shoulders and my stomach is a little smaller than my shoulders, but a shirt won't fit me right. It'll be really big in the stomach to fit my shoulders. Does that make sense?
You're like that large, extra large, medium size.
I don't even know. Yeah. I'm just gonna agree with you. Matter
you
of
know
fact,
what I'm talking about?
learning.
Like a schmedium is like a small medium, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you call like a large, extra large? There's nothing.
Zlarge.
Zlarge. Where's the S in both of those?
No, there's an X. Like
xylophone.
Like xylophone.
Zlarge.
No. Anyway.
It's grammar. It's, you know.
Yeah.
It's words,
but yeah,
bro.
it is weird. Because like I have to wear double X shirts and they have to fit my shoulders and my chest. But then the belly of it and like the waist of it is like too big.
It's like a woman who has really big boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like basically. Adam. He has really big
I got
boobs.
big tits. I got moobs.
Man boobs.
Man boobs. I need what
I picked it up.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a hard time buying pants. I've had a hard time buying clothes lately.
You just need to go like stretchy pants. Just go down that path.
That's
bro.
That's the problem. All of my pants have stretch. That's the problem.
No, you need to get like yoga pants.
No.
Yeah, like jogging pants.
Everyone can see my camel toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a camel knuckle.
The camel,
Yeah.
camel knuckle.
I call it camel tail.
What would end up happening is if I started wearing yoga pants, people would be like, "Man, I always knew that guy had a tiny dick." Like, like it would just be they'd be like,
"I always knew he had to make up for his tiny dick."
But he wears
with his
those
voice.
with confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just like a little sack of balls, like a little small fist of balls, like a little baby fist.
Adam's got a small dick, but he's got big dick energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I was actually talking to Anna about that the other day. I fucking hate that phrase. Big dick energy. Yeah,
I have never heard that.
I
know what it means.
I don't think I ever heard that either.
It's something that started surfacing
swagger.
I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago. It's like a ghetto phrase for confidence, basically. Like you have big dick energy. Did I say 2 months ago? I meant 2 years ago, by the way.
I was like, wow, you're really up with the times. 2 months ago,
right? Yeah, I'm not that up with the times.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like some guys will have big dick energy where they like kind of have like a swagger.
Yeah, but I guess I've never thought like, whoa.
Yeah, whoa, that guy's got a big dick.
Yeah, he must have a big dick. I've never ever actually looked at a guy with swag and been like, wow, I bet he has a big dick. Like
I've seen the way Jamie.
But do other guys look at other guys and go, wow, he must have a big dick? Like if they have that swagger?
I don't. Do you ever look at guys like that though, Adam?
I can honestly say in the past that I've probably had that thought before.
Not like you're literally wondering, but you're going, oh, he obviously is so confident.
So this is something weird happened to me years ago at Home Depot. There was this guy.
Out of all places.
There was this guy that worked there that was not very handsome. He had kind of an awkward physique. Wasn't a bad body. He just had an awkward physique. He had these feet that kind of turned out, so he kind of walked like a clown. You know,
like
he
a
just
pigeon.
kind of like the splayed out pigeon-toed, or not pigeon-toed's end. So it was kind of like that.
Like a waddle.
Yeah. And he just was, and he had like a weird name. His name was like Larry, but he was younger, and he had all of this. He had like a lot of game. Okay, so there was a girl that I was really good friends with there that started like hanging out with him, and I was like, dude, he's such a douchebag. The dude is such a douchebag, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna admit he is kind of a douchebag, but he's got so much game, and like he took me out, we had beers, and then we fucked, and then I realized like why he has all that game, and I was like, why? And she was like, he has a huge dick.
Must be nice.
So one day, and I was like, no way God granted that guy to have a big old dick, you know? So we're sitting like by a desk one day, and he was, you know, wearing just like typical jeans, and she's standing next to me, and she basically was like, look, and I looked down, and I mean, it was like 2 fists of balls and dick all wadded up in this dude's jeans, and I mean, it looked like something that he has to like. It takes effort to move around.
It hurts him.
And she was like, so she was like, and of course she was like, it was like, yes, it's like he pulls it out, and I'm like, oh my God, and you know, it's like this big old dick. She's like, of course, it's not fun. Like it wasn't fun having sex with him. Like it hurt, and he is really proud of it. You know, like he's really proud of his
guys.
Yeah. So, but it started making me like later on in life, I would see a guy that would kind of have like, he might be a little awkward. He might have like a little something. I'm like, I don't get it. And he would have tons of game and tons of swagger. And I was like, I bet you he's got like a big old dick.
So
like
just
like his own self knowing that he has a big dick,
and that any given time, if someone was like, hey, he could be like, well, I have this huge, gorgeous cock.
Right.
You know?
It doesn't matter about anything else in life. I just have a big cock.
So I guess just walk around and pretend like you have one.
I mean, haven't you seen women that have like larger than average, like really nice perky tits? Like they show them off, and they kind of have like a, you know, people pay them attention.
It's like a confidence.
Like Hooters waitresses, yeah, they like pay them a lot of attention.
Yeah, I don't know. I think boobs are a little different. I don't know. Maybe just because there's so many various sizes. Not that there isn't for dicks, but
it's not like the main sexual.
Yeah, and it's more so. I mean, it's more socially acceptable to have cleavage. Like, there's no guys walking. I mean, there are probably some guys walking around with like dick popping out the bottom of their shorts. Like, but I mean, that's not a normal thing. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's different, and it's outside of our range of like eyesight. I mean, you're not just. I mean, everybody. Yeah. Look, there've been a ton of women in my life. Matter of fact, you know, I was with my ex was in academia, and they would I'd be like around having beers with these girls, and they would talk about like some of their teachers that were kind of hip, and they'd wear like tighter clothes, and they would have like these professors who they were like, he's just got this like salami like hanging down in his jeans. And they're like, you'd be surprised. There's all these women that would like flirt with him and stare at it, and he was really proud of it. That, you know, like that kind of stuff. Like there are some times when like people are like really into that. You know?
Yeah. I guess I've never been somebody who's if I've ever seen a dick through pants.
This is
and been like, oh
down,
man,
I
want you right now. I'm gonna go hit on that guy. Look at his sausage peeking out through those tight jeans. I've never. I don't know.
This is heading down the path that I want it to head down because the other day,
Devin's about to stand up and show us his big old.
Yeah, the other day I realized I had a very big penis. No,
you're gonna like lay it over the microphone. That'd be a great ASMR video.
Yeah,
you ever seen ASMR?
Yeah,
where they like rub the microphone.
Like, that's all they're gonna fucking like. This is all they're gonna hear. Just
you
guys can't hear it.
Rubbing like the head of it on the microphone, the big mushroom. Yeah.
But the other day I was with my roommate, and we were watching some like stupid like ranked YouTube video or something, and it was a video on when actors had to use like unnecessary stand-ins for like the most ridiculous reasons, and you'll never fucking believe it, Willem Dafoe was on this list. for having
penis?
too big of a penis.
Big of a penis.
For a sex scene.
People have said before that it would because they were afraid that it would literally
scare people.
No, that it would just draw too much attention because Willem Dafoe is well known for having a very large penis.
Yes.
You know what?
Or
Now that
not
we're
large,
talking
it's
about
long.
it, I could see that with
Yeah.
his.
So
It's in a ton of
Because
movies.
his face is
He showed
not
his-
the best.
No, it's not.
But you know what? There's he has that big
He's
dick
got a big
energy.
dick.
Yeah,
He has that big dick energy.
That's on his IMDb profile.
No way, is it?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, it's
but it's
I was
been
like,
in-
he's known for having a huge dick.
yeah. Well, he is. I mean, Liam Neeson is known for having a huge dick.
Yep, Liam Neeson. So
Kevin
this is
Bacon
like
has a good sized penis, but I don't think it's like they needed a stand-in for it.
right,
I've just
but
seen
it
I've
just
heard
blew
that
my
about Willem
fucking
Dafoe.
mind. I was listening to this video and they were like, "Yeah, you had to have a stand-in with a dude with a smaller dick." Because
Can you
his is
imagine
just
that?
so big, and that
And
got
it's
me
not
thinking.
so big; it's just long.
I'm like-
it's like, you know,
Oh, so
it's just like
really
dangly,
long.
right?
Oh,
So
oh,
you know,
good. I don't so it's just like an elephant's trunk. Just
Yeah.
kind
pretty
of
much.
flop
So
it.
my curiosity got
Yeah.
the best of me. I gotta see
looked it
Willem
up.
Dafoe's dick.
You did?
Did
I
you
did.
see it?
I googled it. There's a video. Now, granted, it's like way
Can you
back
send
in the
it?
day.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
Because I want to see his dick. now.
It's impressive.
I'm asking Adam, and I'm shaking his head. Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
there's some
content of the
movie-
video is really weird.
Well, I
but
know
just
the
look at
movie
his
that
dick.
it's. I know
Okay.
the movie. It's one of the creepiest
What is
movies
it?
I've ever seen. Liam Neeson was in some movie one time where he's like, it's like a really old style movie where, like a bunch of the men go down to the watering hole and they're just like, they're like bathing in the watering hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. And at some point, like Liam Neeson just like pops up out of the water, and not only is it exceptionally long, it's like thick.
girthy.
I mean, yeah, I
Yes.
can see that with him
Yeah.
too.
Like Liam Neeson looks like he could like hit you with it.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be a funny thing you do in the bedroom.
Speaking of dicks, I was watching the new HBO show Euphoria, which is really fucked up but really, really good.
It
And
looks really good.
It is. It's dark and disturbing, but it's shot so well, and the story is super fucking intense.
Supposedly,
But
people
there's-
said that it's like visually stunning.
It
Like,
is.
really
It
visually
is
stunning.
gorgeous, but not like to the point where it's like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Even if the show sucked, it would, I mean,
Yeah.
like the show carries it. But in the most recent episode, there's this whole long scene of one of the main characters in the boys' locker room. He's like the all-star football player, and she's talking about how he grew up basically like never like being in locker rooms and never ever looking down at any dicks. And there's this scene, and literally it's like 2 minutes of like 35 dicks of like in
Of
this locker
various
room.
sizes.
I've never seen so many dicks ever.
At once.
Well, probably I don't think I've seen that.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's seen way more than 35 dicks.
But no, like 4 times the amount. No, but
Yeah.
seriously, it was like I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a quick scene, and it just kept going, and there were more dicks coming in, and then he was walking around, there were more dicks, and they were all types of guys and all sizes of dicks, and they're all supposed to be in high school, and they're supposed to be like high school dicks, and it
Well,
was just
that's
a
what's-
lot of. It was a lot of penis, and I was just like, whoa.
Well, and it's cool. I hate to say this, but they make a movie that's supposed to be about high school kids, and then they show you all of these dicks, and not only are you uncomfortable seeing all these penises, but you also end up getting caught up thinking like, whoa, these are like supposed to be high school penises, and
Right.
like they do that kind of
Yeah.
weird stuff in movies. Remember the movie Carrie?
Yeah.
The movie Carrie starts off, it literally starts off with a steamy shower scene of high school girls
Yeah.
with their huge bushes and their big boobs just showering and being wet and throwing like soap at each other. That's how the movie
And you're like, these girls are like 16.
they're supposed to be.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be 16. They're
Yeah,
probably
but-
like 25, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, the director does that, and it's not erotic. It's like you're kind of like this seems odd.
confused
Well,
and questionable.
Exactly.
In Euphoria, has the guy walking around fully clothed. obviously uncomfortable because it talks about why he's uncomfortable. So it's just this big long scene of him being uncomfortable, but there's just so many penises around him, and you're just like, oh god.
So it's like telling the
Devin,
story.
thanks
of
for
him.
sending the big dick video to the group and not just to Jamie.
Oh,
said
you're
you
welcome.
wanted to see
I
it.
figured you wanted
I've
to see it
seen
as
it.
well.
I've
Seen it multiple times.
yeah.
But no,
I've
that got me on
bookmarked.
that got me on another article about like the top nine celebs that have like a huge dick. So Liam Neeson was on there, Willem Dafoe, Jon Hamm. He's got the whole package.
Well,
Oh,
Jon
yeah.
Hamm goes commando, and they have tons and tons. Women love it. They have tons and tons of pictures of him wearing like tight-fitting
seen
slacks and
them.
it like
I've
all
seen them.
hanging.
Right.
He
You know,
he
fucking
was on
hanging
a
down.
Sweating in his pants.
he was on a thing with James Corden that was spill your guts or fill your guts, and so they would ask him a question, and if he wouldn't answer, he had to eat like disgusting food. I mean, it was like bird saliva and
Right.
like bull. Yeah, and one of the questions was like, share with us how big your dick is, and he wouldn't, so he drank the bird saliva.
That's because it's
That's
fucking
one
like
cool thing
fucking
about
13
Jon
inches.
Hamm.
Yeah, it's,
No, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
That's one cool thing about Jon Hamm is he never talks about his
yeah,
big
he
dick.
refuses to talk anything about it.
He always kind
yeah.
of smiles and shrugs.
And you go, he's got a big
He's
dick.
got a big
but
dick.
He's definitely
he-
got the big dick.
yeah, like
But he
I
just-
won't- like
yeah.
I literally have always wanted to see Jon Hamm's dick. You know. I
No,
just wanna-
okay, so that leads me to my next thing.
Oh, here we
You
go.
know, my roommate, he's a background actor. So he
Yeah.
does like a lot of those productions. He's on a set right now where Jon Hamm is there. And he said he saw Jon Hamm the other day, and he said he literally didn't care about seeing Jon Hamm. He was just looking at his dick
His
the whole
penis.
time.
really.
Yes.
Just
he
to
was
see.
like, man, that thing, like, it looks like a front diaper because it's just like all coiled up in there and stuff.
Really? So he was like, it looks like it's got a. he's got a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
dick.
He said
Right.
it looks like he has a big dick just from his pants, you know?
Really? Who were some other names
You've
on that
seen
list?
this?
Yeah, I've seen this before.
So floppy.
I can't remember. It's
told
so
you-
floppy.
Well, it's not like. Yeah, it's not like.
It's sad.
It's just really long.
Right.
looks-
It's like
it looks-
it's
it looks
really
defeated.
abnormally long, you know?
Yeah.
It's like already a thigh slapper in the video.
like I wonder what it looks like when
Flaccid.
it's like you know
when it's erect.
nice and
Yeah.
girthy.
Let's make our listeners feel so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's call this
Yeah.
a dick episode.
This would be a good one for that title we had. I have a dearth of girth in my life.
You're right.
That
yeah.
that title. Well, who were some of the other names on the list? I'm curious.
Fuck. It wouldn't let me get to the last page. Hold on. Let me pull up that article for you, Adam.
Oh, great.
Oh, please do.
I got you.
You should have. It should already be prepared.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know this was going to go there. How do we
Yeah.
even start
Yeah,
talking?
this is we're going to talk about dicks the whole time.
Well, that's okay.
The dick episode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. James Woods apparently has a very large
Interesting.
penis. Huh?
I said interesting.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm seeing.
So
Willem
far,
Dafoe's
all of them
face.
are kind of closely in the same age category.
But Jon Hamm, man, I can't get over
Yeah.
Jon Hamm. Like, not only is he a sexy, cool dude, but he's also got a big
He
dick.
is.
He's really got the fucking full package.
But like, is there anybody like way younger, or way older than this age group that's on that list? Because that'd be interesting to know.
LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson apparently had
What?
a huge dick.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Or fucking
Way to
Prez,
go,
bro.
Prez.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
It actually let me get to the last page. Last time it wouldn't.
Who is it? What is it?
You got Jay-Z on here.
Oh, well.
Who cares?
Rasputin.
Oh, Rasputin
Mhm.
had a notoriously massive dick.
Yep.
And supposedly it was because Rasputin screwed so many women and would openly talk about how big his dick was, and apparently women would fawn all over it, like how massive his dick was. When they killed Rasputin, they pulled his dick up and cut it off. And then someone
Where is
said
it?
that they preserved it.
They
like
put it
threw
in a fucking jar. Here's a picture of it.
Yeah, it's
You're
huge.
lying. Oh my god. Oh my. Look at that guy.
God.
Why is that guy's face like that?
Because he's happy
He's
that
so-
he's holding
I don't know if
the
he's
jar
happy.
with the biggest dick that he's ever seen.
Oh my god.
This is like, for people who can't see it, this is
it's
like
as big as his face.
it's like a gallon tall jar with a
Like he
huge
put
floating dick in it.
You put like one of those little baby pigs in when you're preserving them.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
And coincidentally, his dick's as big as a baby pig.
Yeah, maybe bigger.
We got 2 more. Apparently, Frank Sinatra was ashamed because he had a big dick. He was ashamed of it.
Weird.
And then the last one, Huey Lewis.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's nobody younger than this. It just seems like an old group of guys. Maybe they just have more time to show their dick off than.
Yeah, I mean, think about the
younger
young
group.
guys. Like, they just try to hide it because they're ashamed. Like Frank Sinatra.
I don't know. There's a lot of dick pics that go around. I don't think there's too many.
I think that's
I don't
why
know.
a lot of guys don't like to show off their dick because they're ashamed of it.
Well, yeah. Like you're like afraid someone's going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not as big as Jon Hamm's.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's very few that are as big as Jon Hamm's.
Yeah.
Would you listen to an ASMR video with Jon Hamm's dick?
I would just to be. I mean, just to hear it.
Just rubbing on a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I can't fucking stand ASMR videos, bro.
I love them. It's
can't
so
stand
weird.
If you
A
type
woman who scrapes her fingernails like on the foam. Oh, dude.
if you type in Jon Hamm, that's it. I didn't even finish the last part of his last name, and the first search is Jon Hamm bulging pictures. It's the Google.
They got a whole
even-
gallery of them.
I mean, they're mainly with him in khakis.
Yep.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, he's got a
Oh
hog,
my
man.
God.
Let me see it.
Well,
Then I'm
which
going to tell
one?
y'all a story.
I mean, you can. There's a lot of them.
Oh, I know. I've seen a lot of these. I look at
Some
them.
are good. Some aren't.
I look at him in my
Oh,
free
yeah.
time.
Dude's got like a...
Go to the
Jon
Google.
Hamm has a ham.
Yeah, Jon Hamm does indeed have a ham.
Is he married?
I don't think so, actually.
Some of these are fake.
What is
Like
that?
this has to be fake. It's too perfect.
Let me see.
Hold on. Oh, man,
I
your
mean,
phone's
it's the
acting.
internet, so I'm sure some of it is fake.
Absolutely.
But I mean, like the ones just him walking. There's like 12 of them that are all you can see. They're like step after step someone's taken.
Yeah. If
Those
I
are
ever
the
become famous, I'm just gonna walk around with like a big ass cucumber in my
Yeah.
pants until the rumor starts getting spread, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm
this
fucking
one,
set.
it's
In
too,
Pilates.
it's too
Yeah.
perfect. Someone like enhance that. Look at that.
Enhance the dick.
I mean, that would. And you know what? It doesn't even look that big in that picture, so I don't think it's real.
It doesn't look small either.
Yeah, but it doesn't look as big as some of the bulging ones.
Yeah.
I feel like Adam's
Look at
more
look,
impressed than
here,
all of us.
Here's a little
Like a montage.
there's
A montage.
or a collage. It's a collage
a
of
collage of its best bulging pictures
a
somebody
collage
created.
of Ham's ham. This is pretty fucking impressive.
I know, right?
This is pretty fucking. I mean, this dude looks like he's got like a roll of socks in his pants.
I know.
A roll of quarters. Isn't that what
All
they
right,
normally
so yeah, not. I mean, I hope it's bigger than a roll of
say?
quarters.
Right. That's what I always confused at. It's like, looks like you got a roll of quarters in your pocket. And it's like, that's not really that impressive, you know?
$50 maybe. So I had something. I texted you all about this, but I had something super uncomfortable happen to me.
Oh yeah.
So
Does it involve a big dick?
yeah, it does.
We're moving on from that.
There's a yeah.
Are we done with the dick talk before?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're gonna end on this unbelievably uncomfortable story. So there's this guy that I know whose dad passed away. I was told that his dad had gotten like really sick, and it was not sudden, like his dad had been sick for a while, but then it's like they inevitably take a very sudden downturn in their history. So hold on, I gotta burp. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That's
That's a good one. That's a low
yeah.
rumble.
Sorry. So it's been about a month and a half or 2 months, and I signed a card, told him how unbelievably sorry I was, and how obviously there's nothing I can say or nothing that I can do to
Yeah, there's never a good thing.
assuage his
There's
anguish.
never a right thing to say in that situation.
So I wait for a while, and it's slightly pertinent to me because my dad is sick, and he has been taking, not a nosedive, but he's not really getting any better, and recently he's been going through a lot of health issues. And So I walk up to him at work one day.
So you work with him. I was going to ask, like, do you see
I
him on a
shouldn't
daily
say
basis?
that. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to ask if you see him on a daily basis.
Yes.
Okay.
And I walk up to him at work one day, and I'm like, hey, man, I never got to really say anything to you about your dad. And I, like, patted him on the back. And you could tell he did not take the pat on the back well. He just
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh.
I mean, I'm saying instantaneously.
Ugh.
He just was very, like, he just kind of, like you could
don't,
tell he
don't
was like,
fucking touch
what
me.
are you doing? And I
annoyed or confused?
it just looked. I don't know. He was just awkward. He just kind of awkwardly was like, ugh, you know. So I patted him on his back and was like, I never had a chance to tell you how sorry I was about your father. I can't really imagine, and I fear that soon I might actually be in a very similar boat. And, you know, I just want to tell you, like, you know, as I'm kind of growing closer to that, I can't imagine how bad that hurt, because my dad is really sick.
Yeah.
And it really scares me.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that I'm truly sorry.
Yeah, trying to open up.
Yeah.
Connect.
He says, yeah, okay, my dad wasn't sick. And I was like, okay, I mean,
where do we go from here?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought, someone
you?
told me that your dad was really sick, and I apologize. And he was like, no, my dad died from complications to something else. And I was like, oh, okay. And the complications actually kind of have something to do with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of odd, because I was like, coincidentally, you know, my dad is dealing with something very similar to that. And I go, but I apologize. I thought your dad was sick. And he was just like, yeah, I really don't know what your dad's sickness has to do with my dad's death.
Oh my God,
wow,
man.
Brutal.
And I was like, all right, man. Well, that
Never mind.
All right. Well, I'm glad your dad died.
Yeah, I was just like, what'd you say?
It said, all right. Well, I'm glad your dad died.
Yeah, I tried to, like, clamor for something and was like, oh, okay.
Did it bug you forever? That would have ruined my week. I would have just been so I just would have been like, what the fuck all week after that happened.
It
just
kind of fucked me.
It
fucked me up for like a day or two.
Yeah, I'd be like,
just
did I do what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, and now, like, every time I see him, I just feel awkward. Because you know, from his perspective, he's like, why is this fucking guy trying to, like, connect with me about my dad's death? And I wasn't. I was just saying, like, it's kind of put things into perspective for me.
Yeah.
And I, again, wanted to just say, you know, I can imagine how tough it was for you, and I apologize. And he was just like, yeah, like, your dad and my dad have nothing in common. And I was like,
Yikes.
cool, bro. Well, my dad can kick your dad's ass. Fuck you.
Right.
You know?
Because your dad's dead, bro.
Yeah. It was so uncomfortable.
You have a certain responsibility as the person, you know, when your dad dies or when a family member dies, you have a certain responsibility to, you know, you're going to have people come up to you and try to apologize to you, even though they may have not known your dad. They may not know you very well, but they're going to, you know, kind of extend their emotions towards you, you know? And you have a certain responsibility to kind of take that on and just kind of thank them for making an effort. You don't have to sit there and fucking judge them.
Yeah,
for trying to reach out to you, you know?
He could have walked away. Oh yeah, thanks, man. And walked away and
just
been
like,
like, what
I really
a fucking
appreciate
asshole.
What a douche or
but like,
whatever.
Instead, he like made it a point to make you feel like shit for trying to do something
trying to
nice.
reach out to him and like comfort him in that time, you know?
And that is a fucking
what a fucking
cunty
asshole,
move.
bro.
What a cunt.
Yeah, it was. I was really kind of shocked by it, because I try. We all can be awkward, and you know how it's like when you're drunk and you try to act like you're not drunk and you just seem super drunk. You know, you know what I mean? Like so you know when you're like, okay, I don't want this to be awkward, so I'm going to walk up, and then everything starts off kind of awkwardly, and
yeah.
So
you're trying so hard to try to be, I don't know, normal that it then comes off. And like something with death, like death is not an easy thing to ever bring up or have a conversation with about, you know what I mean? And so
No, but an appropriate response to anybody that comes up, even if they say something that kind of bothers you,
or
is
not
to say,
correct.
hey, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for reaching out, you know?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
in the conversation, go, hey, it's still tough for me. I don't really want to talk about it, but I really appreciate your sentiments.
It's like he act like you killed his fucking dad.
Yeah. I've done that to people before. People are like,
You've
hey, I wanted
killed
to
their
tell
dads before?
Yeah, dickhead. Yeah. Yeah, like when people are like, hey, I really wanted to tell you I was really sorry about like you breaking up with your ex. I'm sure it's really tough. I'm like, yeah, it's still pretty raw. I really appreciate it. I kind of don't want to talk about it, but I really appreciate it.
When I was in ICU after I had my son and almost died, there were a few friends that I expected to have heard from, like really good friends, which didn't hear from, like didn't reach out to my husband. I'm talking like friends of like 12 years.
Damn.
Really good friends. Didn't reach out to my husband, didn't reach out, which me, like I understand me, I basically was like not there for, 13 days.
Yeah.
And then got out of the hospital, and two of those people, like 2 months later, happened upon at an event, and both of them were like, hey, I'm really, I'm sorry that happened. I didn't reach out to you. And like, in my head, I'm going, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like now I know where our friendship stands, and we can be civil, but we're not going to really be friends anymore. But you know what I said? Oh, thanks. It's okay. I'm alive. So,
Which one hurts worse, that or a friend forgetting your birthday?
Probably me almost dying and them not. And being,
Mine's my birthday, assholes.
Did you just have a birthday?
Oh, shit. When was his birthday?
I have no fucking idea.
When was your birthday?
My birthday's in December.
Fuck
What
you.
a douche.
God, you're an asshole.
Continue your fucking story.
My story's done, Devin.
Yeah.
No, Devin, it's okay. My story was over.
Yeah.
I fucked up years ago with a loved one or a friend that was going through a really tough time. And a lot of times I don't know what to say. So I won't say anything because I think I like overthink it and think they're going to think that it's just trite or that it's kind of meaningless. So it went on a little too long, and that person got unbelievably upset with me and said, there was one person that I really wanted to hear from, and you never said anything, and I am just like so hurt and upset. So moving forward, what I always do is I'll tell people, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what to say to you, but I want you to know that if you need anything, or if there is, anything you could possibly imagine, or if you just need to talk to someone, please let me know. And I did that to someone who's going to remain nameless recently about the passing of a loved one. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible.
Not the same person.
About this, huh?
This is not the same person.
Not the same person.
Okay.
I did this to someone who was a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to say to you. I can't imagine what you're going through. And I want you to know if you need to talk, if you need to come over, if you need to come do whatever, or if you just need anything, like, just please let me know. And that person literally turned on me and was like, oh, okay. So I'm so fucking tired of everyone telling me that they're going to fucking do stuff for me. I'll tell you what, how about you go to the store and buy me some fucking groceries?
If you would ask me nicely, I happily
And
would.
I said,
yes,
I don't know why you're recoiling so bad, but if that's what you need, I'll do it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what I fucking want. Yeah. And he was like, I'm so fucking tired of everyone telling me if you need anything. And you could tell they had like reached a point.
Yeah.
And I tried to let it go, but I was really shocked. And that's one of the
a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why we have PTSD about confronting people. I've been dealing with something recently, personally, where somebody in my life did something that really worried me. And it kind of hurt and it worried me about this person.
Yeah. For themselves?
Huh?
Like you were worried about their well-being?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they did something that I felt like was just a really bad decision.
Yeah.
And it worried me so bad that I actually was incapable of talking to them about it because I was so afraid. I get a lot of fear of like the heavy confrontation because a lot of times I can't just have a normal, warm, and fuzzy confrontation. it's confrontation where I like start getting preachy and I start getting angry and I start trying to tell you what you need to do different, and it just gets stupid.
Yeah.
It just gets out of fucking hand.
Snowballs, and all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got so afraid of that confrontation that I just like turned off and I couldn't like tell that person like, I'm really worried about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, and in part of it is because I've had so many like weird experiences with people where I'm like, hey man, sorry your dad died. They're like, fuck you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Do you think it's because you're? Do you think it's because they think you're a little intimidating?
If it is, it's something that I've dealt with my entire life. Or maybe the way people have told me before, like the way my voice sounds, or maybe my how do you say it? Like maybe the way that I speak, sounds insincere.
I think you have to. I think people have to know you well enough to know when you're being sincere
yeah.
and when you're fucking around.
Yeah,
because
I
for
agree.
me, for example, it took me a little bit of time. Like you and Glenn first started hanging out, and then we all started hanging out more often. But it took me a little bit of time before we would sit around at my house and have a few drinks or whatever like that, and you'd say something. It took a couple times to be like, wait, is he fucking serious or is he fucking around
with me right now?
Now,
Yeah, all comes out the same.
But when it comes to death, you would think that nobody,
You would assume it's sincere.
100%. Like, who would walk up and be like,
Agreed.
man, I'm sorry. I mean, and like I'm saying, I don't think that you are like, nobody can understand whether you're being serious or not. I just think on a date,
It takes a little bit to warm up to you.
Yeah,
Well,
especially if it's going to be like a serious conversation, to try to figure out your tone, whether it is sarcastic or just you being normal. But again, the death thing has like, I mean, nobody's ever going to be an asshole about that. Well, except for that guy. That guy was an asshole.
Yeah, and it could be. I mean, maybe I have, like, it's trouble. And I've had to practice this for years because I've been on the phone. I've been selling on the phones for so long. You have to kind of practice your sounding very sincere because it's hard to convey sincerity to someone that you can't see.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was it.
Well, yikes.
Talked about dicks.
Dicks and death.
Yeah.
Dicks and death.
Ill-fitting clothes, dicks, and death.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Anyway, this is Devin.
This is Adam.
This is Jamie.